Hello and welcome back to Baked with Love by Ivy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a really delicious dessert, and today we're making mini salted caramel chocolate tarts. Okay, let's get started. So the elements of this tart are a pâte sucrée or sweet tart dough, and then we also have a homemade salted caramel and chocolate ganache. Okay, to make the tart dough, combine flour, powdered sugar, or confectioner's sugar, and salt in a stand mixer and mix to combine. You could also do this in a food processor. I also want to note here that I did make 2 separate batches of dough, so I ended up making 1.5 recipes of this whole recipe because I was serving a lot of people. So here I'm just filming me making the half recipe, but I'll put one whole recipe in the description below. Alright, now I add my butter, which I chopped up super small, right into my stand mixer, as you can see here. And then I'm just gonna mix it up again. And also I'm using a paddle attachment if anybody was curious. Okay, so after you blend in the butter, the dough should look something like this. There's small little chunks of butter, but it's all coated in flour. Okay, so just a quick disclaimer, the footage here, it's kind of covered up by my shoulder. That's fine. So basically, this is just where I'm adding an egg yolk. Here I'm adding half an egg yolk because I'm doing half a recipe. But you just add it in 2 or 3 additions and just mix until it's combined. Okay, so after you add the egg yolk, your dough's pretty much done. So you'll just turn it out of your mixer, but I just want to warn you that it does not look like dough. It's kind of like flour with little chunks of butter, but the more you work it, the more it comes together. So before I start rolling it out, I definitely like to work it. I have my bench scraper that's helping me scrape, but it definitely does come together, so don't freak out. I definitely did the first time I made it. But yeah, it comes out to be a really nice, crispy, sweet, yummy dough, and it's really, really good. Okay, now for rolling, I basically just have 2 sheets of parchment, and I split my dough up into little balls, considering I am making mini tarts, but you could just do you just roll it out into one and put it in one French fry pan. But I looked at my French fry pan and I was like, this is too small and too big, so it's just not gonna work. So I used minis, and they turned out super cute. But I just roll out my dough, and then sometimes it helps to use an offset spatula to scrape it off the parchment, and then I basically just pop it into my mini tart pan. And I did do a lot of patchwork here, so right when I put it in, it's not totally full, but then I do patchwork with my scraps, and it all turns out super well. So yeah. Okay, so here's how the tart shells should look when they're done. And then I chill them for 1 or 2 hours, and then I put pie weights in parchment so they don't rise up. This is super important, so you have nice thin tart shells. Now it's time to make the caramel. So this is a super easy salted caramel sauce. I'm not going to show too much footage because I will have an in-depth tutorial coming up soon on how I make homemade salted caramel. But I'm just adding my sugar, cream of tartar, and then I add water, but I don't show it here. And I basically put that on the stove, and it gets this dark amber color. And now I added my butter, 1 piece at a time. I sped this up because it was a pretty long clip. And I add butter and mix, and you can see the change. This caramel is so good. I also add heavy cream and salt. Keep mixing, and yeah. Okay, now it's time to make my ganache. I'm using a mix of chopped chocolate and chocolate chips, both semi-sweet. Then I measure out my heavy cream, and I add it to a microwave-safe glass, and I microwave that for about 50 seconds to a minute. Okay, so I pour my hot, heavy cream over my chocolate, then I just take a plate, and I put it over so it can, steam up a little bit, and I just let that sit for about. Now I whisk it all up. And you can always put it back in the microwave if the chocolate is not fully melted. Okay, I did not show it here, but I did add the salted caramel to the tart shells without filming, but now I transfer my ganache to a pourable glass, and I'm just pouring it right on top. And then I just smooth them off the spatula to get it to all of the corners. And yes, then these chill. So I chill with the caramel for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then I chill with the ganache for like 30 minutes to an hour until ready to serve. And then I sprinkle with flaky salt, which is definitely key. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you will give this recipe a try. You will not regret it. The whole recipe is written in the description below just for you. And I've written the recipe myself, but then I've gotten different parts of the recipe from different places, so I've linked back to original sources. Don't forget to subscribe to Bake with Love by Ivy on YouTube and give this video a big thumbs up. And follow Baked with Love by Ivy on Instagram so you don't miss any baking adventures. See you guys next time. Bye!